he would oftentimes wear that Giriraj over his heart, around his neck. And it describes that Giriraj was always covered with the tears of love of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes we do our abhisheks of the deities, or perhaps Giriraj. But this was the standard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's abhishek. It was the love of Sri Radha's innermost intimate love pouring through Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beautiful lotus-like eyes. For several years, that Shila was constantly being bathed by Lord Chaitanya's tears of love, Radharani's tears of love. Raghunath Das Goswami was so dear to Lord Chaitanya. We know the story. He was born from Govardhan Majumadar, a tremendously wealthy landowner, like a king. Raghunath Das was this single heir to an incredible fortune of prosperity, power, fame, and wealth. But when he was a little boy, he was brought by his guru and his family priest, Yadunandanacharya and Balaramacharya, to meet Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, he just wore a little kopan. He was homeless. He lived in caves, but he was always chanting Krishna's names. Raghunath wanted that prem, that attachment to God's names, that willingness to sacrifice your life for the welfare of others, that is wealth. And ultimately, through so many efforts, and by the mercy of Lord Nityananda and the Vaishnavas, he escaped from home after years of effort and came to Puri. And he was the servant of Lord Chaitanya. And if we read about his life, his humility, his detachment. Later on, he would offer minimal 1,000 obeisances to Vaishnavas every day. How many obeisances do we offer to Vaishnavas every day? But he was doing it from his heart. And wherever he was living, there was practically no one there. But still he was showing the value of his respect and his humility to great Vaishnavas. That was Raghunath Das Goswami. He would chant at least 2,000 names of Krishna every day in his japa. He practically gave up eating and sleeping because he just didn't have time. He was so busy doing seva. He would do Govardhan Parikrama every day when he was here. But Lord Chaitanya saw his humility. He saw his Raghunath Das Goswami's detachment was only to facilitate a deeper attachment to service to Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya gave him the dearmost, his dearmost Giriraj Shila, he presented to Raghunath Das Goswami. And Lord Chaitanya provided all of the wonderful objects for Raghunath Das Goswami to offer to Giriraj. Simple, but with pure ecstatic love. Through this example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can begin to get some appreciation of where we are at Govardhan Hill. Just to be sitting close by to Govardhan Hill, if we to the degree our consciousness is awakened, we will be totally drowning with overwhelming gratitude and happiness. And we're begging for that state of consciousness. That's why we're here, to beg for that consciousness. And our begging is not just in our prayer. Our begging is in our prayer and in our actions and words as well. Just close to here is Govinda Kund. Yesterday we were telling the Govardhan Lila. After Indra was humbled by Krishna, Indra's a demigod who's the king of the heavens, who lives a tremendously long life, who even great sages and rishis offer hymns to get blessings. And Krishna's a seven-year-old little boy. And he insults Indra. And then when Indra tries to punish, Krishna insults him even more by lifting the Govardhan Hill with the tip of his little finger of his left hand for 7 days. Indra suffered so bad. When your prestige is crushed, when you're very attached of being victorious and you're totally defeated, it's really, he was depressed. By modern terminology in the 21st century, we hear a lot about depression. Indra was really depressed. He lost all of his credibility. And he realized that he tried to destroy God. What a fool am I? And he knew this was going to be in the scriptures forever. So he was crushed. And he didn't know what to do. Everything I am, everything I have, I'm getting it from God, from Bhagavan, from Krishna. And I tried to destroy him and his village and all of his friends and relatives. He didn't know what to do. He was so guilty. He approached Brihaspati, his guru. Brihaspati said, "You are a fool. Even I don't know what you should do. Let's go to Lord Brahma." So they went to Lord Brahma, and Brahma said, "You are a fool. There's nothing you can do." But if somebody who loves Krishna begs forgiveness on your behalf, Krishna will forgive you. So let us go to Surabhi, the mother of the cows. And here at Govardhan Hill at Surabhi Kund, Surabhi met with Krishna in a private place. It was just the two of them. And she said, Indra is genuinely repentant. He wants to surrender to you. Please accept him. Then Krishna glanced upon Indra. Otherwise, he wouldn't even look at Indra. And what was part of Indra's transformation is understanding how insignificant he was in the presence of this cow. She was so gentle, so kind, so forgiving. She had love. That love is real power, because that love controls Krishna. That love brings true fulfillment to the heart forever. So by the association of Surabhi, Indra learned how to surrender to Krishna. Kaliya learned how to surrender to Krishna by his wives, the Nagapatnis, by seeing their devotion and hearing their prayers. But he didn't take it seriously until he was also crushed. His ego. So Krishna gave Indra his full blessings and mercy. And then Brahma, Indra, Shiva, all the demigods, they decided, we are going to have an abhishekam for Krishna. Brahma said, you are our Indra. Indra means the controller, the Lord. And how did that beautiful Abhishek ceremony coronating Krishna to be the very supreme, worshipable Lord and object of love for the whole universe? That's what this Abhishek was about. An Abhishek like we've never heard about, read about, or seen before. Brahma, Shiva, Saraswati, Parvati, Lakshmi, all of these, Kuvera, Agni, Vayu, Anantashesha, Garuda, Vashishtamuni, Arundhati, all of the great sages, all of the great rishis, all of the primary greatest of demigods, they all wanted to coronate Krishna as the Lord of their hearts, the Lord of their lives, and the Lord of the entire universe. And who among them was the first to bathe Krishna? It was unanimously accepted by all. Surabhi. Not Brahma, the cow. She bathed Krishna with her own milk. What is that? Her milk is her liquid love. She's offering that to Krishna. And Krishna, every part of his body, inside and outside, is feeling the greatest ecstatic pleasure, being bathed by her love in the form of milk. You see, when we do abhishekam for our deities, at home or in temples, it's not just the water that Krishna likes. It's the love in which it's offered. Patram pushpam palam toyam. If we offer water with love and devotion, that gives Krishna more happiness than anything. So, Sarabi bathed Krishna with limitless milk. And then all of the others started bathing. Indra had Airavata, his elephant, carrying huge quantities of water from the Akash Ganga, the Ganges of the heavenly worlds, and bathing Krishna. It was a beautiful ceremony which is described in great details in many of our scriptures. And they were singing hymns and offering so many beautiful gifts. They made a wonderful throne for him. Brahma offered arti, others were offering prayers. And then Krishna blessed all the devas, and they all left that place. But by Krishna's arrangement, they left their heavenly paraphernalia that they were offering the puja for. And as they left, the gopas, the cowherd boys, they were looking for Krishna. Because actually Krishna was playing with them, and then just to deliver Indra, he went off on his own. So they found Krishna sitting on this beautiful throne at Govardhan, at Govindakund, and all the wonderful substances of the Akash Ganga and the Sarabi milk and the Panchamrita and the Panchagavya that was being offered by the Devas and the Rishis is what, and every drop of that bathed Krishna's body, and that is Govindakund. And at the end of the ceremony, Krishna, because you are so loved and you love the cow so much, we give you the name Govinda. Govindakund, such a holy place. And the gopas come there and they see this kund of Abhishek water. And they see Krishna sitting on a throne, and they see all these nice, chamaras and celestial ghee lamps, and they just wanted to play, and they put they put Balaram next to Krishna on the throne, and they all started singing their little cowherd boy songs, which are not the demigods. They were singing with great awe and reverence. They were doing Vedic hymns, you are the supreme. And the cowherd boys, they're just doing puja to their friend, playing, just to make them happy. They're doing puja, telling jokes and everything. And the demigods heard all these little children making noise, and they came back and looked and saw them doing the arti and dancing around and puja, and Krishna and Balaram are sitting on the throne and smiling so much more than they were doing for them. And the demigods, they realized this is real love. We have love, but our love cannot compare to the gopas. Even in Vaikuntha, that love, the intimacy, the sweetness, the personal nature of the gopas and gopis of Vrindavan is unparalleled. And Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya and the cowherd men and women, they were looking for Krishna and Balaram, and they heard all of a sudden, and now they see all the little children doing these artis. They said, what's happened? And Madhu Mangal said, oh, you won't believe what happened. Krishna was sitting on this throne near Govardhan, and we saw somebody with 4 heads bowing down and offering prayers, and then we saw somebody with 5 faces, and we saw this cow talking to him and offering prayers, and then there was this person with 1,000 eyes on his body doing dandavats. And they were all singing the praises of Krishna. And then Nanda and Yashoda, a beautiful celestial voice came from the sky and said, "We, the demigods, have already proclaimed and coronated Krishna as the king of the universe. But you can do something that we can't do, a much higher position. You can all offer a puja to recognize Krishna as the king of Braj Bhumi. Because Braj Bhumi is beyond this universe. It is the spiritual world. And the heart of Braj Bhumi, Giri Govardhan. We will continue just now. I didn't mean to say that, actually. Govinda Kund, Madhavendra Puri, the Param Guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came to Vrindavan and performed the entire Govardhan Parikrama and stopped to rest after at Govinda Kund, knowing the holiness of this place. Madhavendra Puri was so transcendentally absorbed. If he would see a dark cloud, he would fall unconscious because he would remember Krishna. He was sitting at Govinda Kund. He wouldn't even consider begging for food. If food, prasad, came to him, then he would take something. He was sitting there for many hours, just meditating on Krishna. The profound experience he just had of Govardhan Parikrama, sitting at Govinda Kund, the beautiful darshan of Giriraj. He was in a state of samadhi. The samadhi of prem, of ecstatic love. And a little cowherd boy came up to him and said, "Oh, Goswamiji, I think you must be hungry. I have brought some milk for you. I don't think you ate anything all day." He gave him a little pot of milk. And Madhavendra Puri asked, "How did you know that I'm like this?" He said, "I know that you haven't eaten anything all day because the village ladies, they were nearby getting water from a well, and they were coming back and forth, and they came and told me that there's this Goswamiji here, and he hasn't eaten anything or even drunk anything all day, so bring him this milk." I'm a little cowherd boy from this village called Aniyor in the Anukuta Kshetra. And in my village, nobody goes hungry. Some people we feed, some people beg and we feed them. And if somebody's so humble like you that you're not even beg, then I come myself to deliver this milk. And the little boy said, "But I have to go milk the cows now, so I'll come back to get the pot." Madhavendra Puri drank the milk. And then he washed the pot. And he waited for that little boy. He waited hour after hour until it was just getting toward the sunrise. He was waiting all night, intimately, softly, sweetly, chanting the holy names. And then he dozed into a kind of sleep and had a dream. That little cowherd boy appeared before him and spoke. He said, I have been in a thick, bushy area of Govardhan. And I have been suffering due to the cold winters and the hot summers without any food and without any water, just waiting for you. My name is Gopal. And I was living in a temple here. I was originally installed by Vajranabh long ago. But some conquerors came to invade our village. So they took me and they hid me long ago in these bushes, and everyone left in fear of their lives. My name is Gopal. I want you to bring the Brijabasis to take me out of the bushes and make a temple for me on top of Govardhan Hill. And then the little boy in the dream took Madhavendra Puri by the hand and showed him where the bushes were. Madhavendra Puri woke up and he realized that little cowherd boy who gave me milk was Krishna. And I didn't even recognize him. I didn't even offer obeisances to him. I didn't do anything for him. And he felt guilty. But then he was thinking, I don't have time to feel guilty because he's given me service. So Madhavendra Puri went to the little village near Govinda Kund, Anior, and he told some of the Brijabasis, bring your choppers, we have to go through the forest. And they were chopping through the bushes, and there they saw the beautiful form of Gopal, also known as Srinathji. He was laying there covered with grass and weeds and bushes. He was covered with dirt. And they lifted him up and made a throne out of the stones at Govardhan Hill and placed him upon that throne. And then under Madhavendra Puri's direction, with Krishna's guidance, they bathed him with 900 pots of water from Govinda Kund. Then Madhavendra Puri massaged his whole beautiful body with fragrant oils that were brought for the occasion. Then they bathed him with the Panchagavya and the Panchamrita, the most auspicious substances to offer the Lord during Abhishekam. The 5 essences of sweetness and essence of the cows. And then they again covered him with fragrant oils and bathed him again with the waters of Govinda Kund. Then they dried him and covered him again with fragrant oils and then dressed him and put ornaments on him. And Madhavendra Puri performed the arti. They made a bhoga offering were the villagers. The village of Anior. They were so excited. Everything they had in their village, they made Anakuta, mountains. Wonderful offering. And after the arti, Madhavendra Puri made sure everyone was fed sumptuous prasad to their full satisfaction. And then he made a little resting place for Srinathji Gopal. Krishna who appeared as the lifter of Govardhan Hill. And then Madhavendra Puri just took a little bit of prasad. And the Brijbasis, when other villages heard about the joy and the blessing that this one village participated in, everyone was coming to Madhavendra Puri. We want to bring our entire stock of all of our food and prepare it as an anakut for Gopal. Every day, for weeks and months, all the villages of Braj Bhumi were coming one at a time with everyone of the village to chant, to dance, to cook, to offer for the pleasure of Gopal. And when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Govinda Kund, he was remembering all these beautiful stories. The day after tomorrow, we will perform the parikrama of Govardhan. And tomorrow I will discuss some of the places on the Govardhan parikrama. And at this moment, let us have kirtan. For the pleasure of Sri Giriraj, for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas, the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, let us very blissfully dance and chant.